let's have a look at Nikki No Boats. Oh, I should put my pen on. Nikki No Boats this morning on Herald Now with old mate Ryan. And he asked her a pretty interesting question, actually. It's like, who's to blame for unemployment? And they had a bit of a discussion, because what's happening is what we pointed out last night is there's lots of conversations, and Craig just mentioned it about green shoots, and we're getting lots of conversations about what is going to happen next. Except the problem is they've been doing that for 18 months. For 18 months, they've been telling us about what's going to happen next, and it hasn't happened yet. So we need to know when you're going to fix the economy like you promised. Apparently it's so broken, you need to fix it. When are you going to do that? It's like tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, because when it's tomorrow, it's today. It's tomorrow. It's always tomorrow. It's always tomorrow. What happens to today? The people who are looking to get their bills paid today, if it's always tomorrow.
Just wondering, where do you apportion blame? You know, when somebody doesn't have a job right now, is that their fault? Or as growth minister, is that your fault?
Well, the simple fact is, in an economy with higher unemployment, it is harder to find a job. And so I really feel for all those who want to work, are out there looking for a job, and they're finding it hard to seek work. And
the question was, whose fault is it? Where do we apportion blame? You've explained that.
She can't answer that.
Minister of Finance was just said, unemployment happens when it's harder to find a job. Thanks, Minister of Finance. Where do we apportion the blame, which was the question?
That's why our work to stabilise the foundations of the economy and then drive for greater growth is so important, because you don't do that for a GDP figure. You do that so that employers and businesses feel more confident about saying, actually, let's start something new up. Let's expand our operation.
But they're all telling you they're not doing that this time around. So you're talking, it's still to come, because businesses now are saying we're not going to bring on extra staff through Christmas. Even through our busy period, we're not going to bring on the extra staff. So you're saying what should happen, what could happen, what's going to happen. But even that example you're giving, if you hear business owners, they're not doing it. They're not comfortable to bring on extra staff at the moment or through the summer period.
Let's take on new workers, and we've been working hard to create those conditions.
I know you have, but the problem for you now is a political one, isn't it? Because people have heard this before. Like, this record is so old now.
Yes.
A year ago, we were being told that the green shoots were coming, and now we're being told it again. Like, does anyone actually believe it?
Well, I think they should, because...
I'm sorry, right? That's the wrong end of the question. It's not that people believe it. It's when are we going to see it? Like, you're going to continue saying it, Nicola Willis. I get that. Give me a date. Like, you guys want to be held accountable. You wanted to hold the last lot accountable. I'm giving Ryan his due credits for a couple of good questions today, but this is not critical necessarily. But the end of that question should have been when, not do we believe it? Because innately we don't. So when is the question we want. We want something measurable and tangible. We want a KPI, Mr. Luxon. When can we measure this outcome? When is it going to happen? We need a metric to say what you're saying is going to happen, then happens. Not do they believe it? Do people believe it? Do they wish upon a star, rub their hands together? Sorry.
The perfect answer. They should. They should believe it. Please believe me. Please. Can we just believe me? Don't ask me for numbers. Please don't.
Let's see what she says.
Economic history, what we see is this order of events. 1, inflation down, 2, interest rates down, then growth fixes, then unemployment comes down. That's the order of it. And actually, the unemployment rate we're experiencing now is lower than Labor were forecasting prior to the election would be the case at this point. There are actually fewer unemployed people than they had been picking there were. So we always knew, post-COVID, there's no getting away from it. We were going to go through a difficult economic recovery as a country, given how badly overstimulated and overinflated things were. So we are going through that difficult recovery, and our government is doing everything we can to be pro-growth, whether it's those
we know what you're doing.
Breaks.
We know what you're doing. Yep. Minister,
but this is one of the difficulties is as we get stuck in the situation where I'm not even necessarily saying what the minister is saying there is wrong about, times after inflation, the times after COVID, but that's not what you were promising us. You weren't saying prior to the election, elect us, it's going to be really tough and hard and more people are going to be unemployed. You were saying elect us and we'll fix the economy. So you have to be measured based on the standard you set for yourself and the standard that people voted for you for. And it wasn't, it's going to be really hard and we're going to have more unemployment. It'll be sticking around for a long time. And, probably if we're honest, it's not going to get better until the second term. You weren't saying that. So we're not going to give you credit for that today. I've got another clip, Chewie. Anything you want to say before that, though?
No, let's roll on and see what else she's got in her handbag.
Well, the next question is quite a good one as well. It's how does Nicola Willis, she is the growth minister, whatever the hell, that sounds like some kind of STD, but she's the growth minister. And the time to now ask it, seeing the economy has shrunk by 1.3%, how does the minister feel about growth this year?
How do you feel, like what, in a word, how do you feel about your progress in your year of growth as the growth minister?
Well, I think New Zealanders have shown extraordinary resilience. They've worked very hard for this recovery.
You see how it's always straight to a let's define the terms? Just answer it. How do you feel? I feel really good. I feel disappointed. I'd give myself a C. It's in the middle. No. Straight to New Zealanders need. It's like, this is not the question.
And I feel very clear-eyed. Now is not the time for expensive new taxes, for a return to reckless fiscal management. Thank goodness we're here, because now is the time we need to be backing employers and businesses, fast-tracking those private sector projects, getting them through the consent process so they can get started, whether that's housing developments, the Auckland Port expansion or others. We really need to be ensuring we're opening those new export markets. We need to be getting the red tape out of the way, whether that's in the ag sector or elsewhere. Totally. So we're the government doing that stuff.
All right.
So it is a comparison game, politics.
What about
it's not just are things tricky. It's, are these guys doing a better job than the other guys would? And I'm confident we are.
Minister, I want to talk.
So literally no question there. How do you feel about growth this year? No answer. Could you understand why? Because, it's been pretty abysmal. And look, I want to be fair always. Chewie, maybe not so much. I want to be fair. And the fair thing to do is to judge them on how they judged the last lot and to judge them on the standards they set for themselves. And there's no way the last lot came out talking like that they'd let them go. And then, as I said, the standards they set for themselves was basically, I am paraphrasing, we're going to fix the economy. Everyone's going to be doing better. We're going to get back on track. And they're not. So we judge them based on that standard as well. And now it's all, well, the tariffs and, external forces and, this is the path and eventually it'll come down. That's not what you were saying before the election. You're hyping everybody up to be the business people and the people to get the economy back up and running. And you haven't done it. Let's start from there. It's an honest conversation. Chewie.
Yeah, 100%. Like the stuff that they're crowing about winning, like let's say interest rates. Like National have always had this really weird perception that a government has a massive effect on a country's interest rates. It's just not like that. We're a small trading nation. So we're heavily affected by what happens overseas, but they are trading on a more simplistic view of it, that if you do stimulus, then inflation will come. And that is true to a degree, but there are so many other factors. And here they are, they're working out, well, it's coming down. It was trending down before you got in.
Yeah.
Like you're just carrying the bucket now. And you can't take that and blame something else on the other guys. It's incredibly see-through, but there are so many people that will take it. They will take that headline, they'll take that social media post, and they'll just run with it.
Let me say this as well, and obviously everyone watching now knows where we sit politically, firmly on the left. But if one of the major parties on the left, like if Labour promises us the earth before the election and gets back in and they don't deliver, they'll get the same criticism. It's funny because I feel like of all the parties, probably Te Pāti Māori and the Greens, even if you don't agree with their ideologies, are the ones that will always stand by what their ideology is. I can't imagine either of those parties, for good or bad, flip-flopping. So the ones on the left that need to stay the course are Labour, who are obviously closer to the centre. And it's the same. If you make promises before the election, Labour, especially if we get behind the left in general to help get someone elected and you don't fulfill, we're not, in fact, we'll probably be harsher, because it's like, if you're on my team and you're, fucking our chances for the follow one because you're not doing it, then you'll probably get more of a, I was going to say tongue lashing. Can I say tongue lashing? That sounds weird saying that out loud.
And look, this comes back to, the language that Luxon has used about the opposition parties being activists and ideological and all of this sort of stuff. Everything about politics is ideology. Like, they're going to put out there that their economic view or tactics is just straight math. 1 + 1 = 2. It's not ideological. It's
Show
just
off.
this. The other guys, they're ideological. It is ideological.
Yeah.
Everything that they're doing is. Their ideology is when times are tough, we're going to tell people that we're going to tighten the belts. We're going to cut government spending. We're going to cut money coming from the government to the economy, because that's what people do. And it's a very simplistic view. Now, they're going to keep parroting that, and they do, that government spending is down. But they've cut taxes. They've given away money for roads. Like, their roading program, like one road north of Auckland is going to gobble up, what is it, $1 out of every 10 for the next 30 or 40 years of our roading budget. They are spending money, and they're spending money like on stuff that isn't productive.
Yeah.
Labour's view would be, when times are tough, we spend money because we can get that money cheaper. And then when times are good, then we cruise. That's the ideological difference.
Yeah.
One of them means that the average person, the average wage earner, just has to suck it up. Because business owners and landlords, they're the ones with the money. They've got to be the ones first cab off the rank. On the other side, the left side, that's reversed. Business looks after itself, and the economy is made of people. That should be a really good way to decide where you sit.
Yeah.
I know where I sit.